Hey, what's going on, people? Guns Ryer here from NextGenTactics, and I thought I'd show you a few sort of preliminary GB practice type games. And by that I mean we're about to go and start playing game battles. So we're talking more competitive. We're talking about playing against teams that are organized and take the game as seriously as we do. So the battles and the matches are considerably harder than it would be than playing in public matches. And I'm not talking about coming across random people, because when you're playing in public matches, you tend to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like this, I'm just throwing grenades and flash or concussion grenades just to see if I can get some hits. But when you're playing in game battles, you really can't, other than doing the first one. I would have thrown it anyway just to stop people from rushing or whatever. But you don't waste equipment. You simply don't. You don't waste it. You can't waste it in those instances. If you're playing MLG variant, you don't have all that claymores and all that other garbage there. It's purely based on your ability to hold ground with your weapon, which is really a true test of your skill, right? And granted, believe me, I know, because I use claymores out the wazoo. I'm very dependent on claymores in public matches. Again, public matches. We do well, and for those of you that weren't with us during Modern Warfare 2, when we first sort of started taking game battles a little more seriously, and I got out after because then there was so many problems with people like just cheating or just being complete dickheads, and it's very difficult to sort of take the game, seriously. Like, you're in there to have fun and be respectful, but there's so many douchebags out there. It's very, very difficult to do that, and I just got frustrated. But anyway, our record when we went in there, when we will go in there highly organized. We do practices, everybody. Like, I did up a whole slew of videos, and we only played Search and Destroy, but basically a whole slew of videos showing everybody where their position is. Everyone had an assigned position, so no matter what the map was, whether it was offense or defense, everyone knew exactly where they were going. You didn't even have to communicate. Everyone just automatically knew. You bolted out, you went to your position. Our first run at everything, we actually were around, I believe, 19-0. So we won our first 19 matches, 0 losses. We did eventually get a loss, but it was mainly, and really, you're going to get losses. But the reason I think why we stopped, or at least I stopped, was I was just sick of all the bullcrap from other teams. The nice thing about Black Ops is there's theater mode on all the time. It doesn't matter. You can't get away with bullcrap. If you cheat, you're gonna get friggin' reamed out. If you're gonna try and accuse someone of cheating, it's theater mode. It's very easy to report. It's very easy for anyone to show the games. And the nice thing about Black Ops is that after each and every game, true to the nature of a coach, which I essentially act as on the team, I'm going to be able to review in theater mode what went wrong if something went wrong. But even if it didn't, to review it and see where we can improve. That's the beauty of it. I can watch every single enemy player and see what they did, and maybe something that we could implement into our game plan as well. And that's an awesome feature to have. Absolutely awesome. I think that's actually brilliant. So I'm really excited to do this. Anyway, I'm showing you these because I haven't really played. In the past, I played a lot with Fisher in Modern Warfare 2, but now that, Black Ops is out, he's been doing a lot of GBs, but with Italy for Life. He was playing with Medina, and then True God. True God is a friend, and he's actually going to be part of the NGT Elite for game battles purposes anyway. I haven't played too much with him, but Fisher and Italy both speak very highly of him. So if they speak highly of him, then he's all right in my books. So anyway, when we're going to play, it's important that you gel. We need to know where everyone's going to go, how they play. It's important for me to know whether or not I got some loose cowboys on the run here. You know what I mean? Like, I've never gamed with True God. Italy and Fisher both know, that I'm very, very strict in terms of game battles. And when we play as a team, everyone must do what they're told to do, more or less. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, well, I'm just going to go here anyway, I don't care. Like, if we say 3 at A, 3 at B, although we'll be doing 4v4, say we're saying 2 at A, 2 at B, if one of the players on on our team, for whatever reason, says, well, I'm going to go to A as well, and sort of kind of crosses that line without any justification or talking about it ahead of time, usually they get booted from the team. As I don't want to put the name, the NGT name, NextGenTactics name out there for everyone to see, especially when you're talking game battles, when you're talking competitive. That's really where you're putting, your reputation on the line. So I take every single game, no matter how, and all the guys in the NGT Elite know this. Whenever we play game battles, even if they're, I'll hear some of the guys saying, "Oh, look, they're 2-13. This team's horrible. Don't even worry about it." I'm like, no, bullshit. When you play game battles, you don't ever assume that the other team is going to be an easy pushover. Even if they have 2 wins, it's still 2 wins. Maybe it was another team at our skill level that underestimated them, didn't do try hard. Every time we play a game battle, believe me, it's try hard. I am dead serious. It's like it's a real war. I don't want to die. So I take it very seriously. There'll be a lot of practices. We'll be developing call-outs. I'll be listening to every member, of course, as per usual, in terms of their, what they think should be done on it. Because the difference, too, in this is that we won't be playing just Search and Destroy. We have to play Demolition. We have to play Domination and the other game types, Deathmatch and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot, and there's no way in hell that I can create, viable strategies for every single game type and every single map. It's just not going to happen. So definitely I'm going to be looking for input from every member on the team. And so far the team for GBs, and I haven't been in communication with the other NGT Elite. I would love for Killer God 23, if you're watching this video, to give me, tell me if you're interested in joining the GB team. You know what I mean? EP, sorry, I forget all the other members of the NGT Elite. I just haven't seen a lot of action from you guys, no videos, haven't really heard anything, and that's my fault as well too. But anyway, if you are interested, guys, on the NGT Elite, please let me know ASAP, because we're going to be going into this, and you will not be playing unless you practice. Again, I don't mind even if you guys have GBs without me in them, as long as you can record them, and as long as you're following the strategies that we collectively as a team develop, then by all means go ahead, play those GBs, record them, and then post them on either NGT Games or I'll post them on our NextGenTactics. But we definitely, the whole point, as everyone knows here, at NextGenTactics, we create strategies and tactics for you guys. And, and some of you guys, increasingly so, people are playing on game battles. And I would actually, as long as it's, not as bad, and I don't think it's as bad on Black Ops, but if you really want to increase your enjoyment of this game, absolutely play game battles. Learn to what's involved. I mean, there's going to be problems, and you're going to see the same issues that I had, which is, people being dickheads and being unfair or trying to cheat. You just got to deal with it. They're out there. There's a bunch of assholes. You just got to get through it. For the most part, it's pretty good. And anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's the adrenaline. You'll feel more pressure when you play these games. When you play competitive and you're playing in game battles where there's a ladder system and really it's all about your team getting recognized, then you'll feel that pressure. Anyway, when we do NextGenTactics, we develop these things not just sort of for entertainment, because they will be entertaining for you guys somewhat, although you tend to play a lot more, I'll call it tactical, which is another word for camping, but that's the nature of it. I mean, you don't go running out like an idiot all the time, just blazing out without any thought to what you're doing. That's not how competitive gaming works, and if you do that, you're going to end up at the bottom of the ladder. And you know what? We defeat teams all the time. Like when we played Modern Warfare 2, it was because people would play like that. They think that they can just come in and just do their normal public game style, and it does not work. But it is a lot of fun. You'll have a lot of challenge. You'll have those moments where you're like, yes, we defeated a top-seeded team. Those are great moments, and it makes you love this game even more. So I'm excited to do it. Anyway, hopefully we'll be able to develop and share with you guys call-outs and other stuff like strategies and tactics for public and competitive gaming. Anyway, let's go on. That's the end of Array. We got one more for you here on Nuketown. Again, you must keep in mind, playing competitive is very different from public matches. You'll see more camping. All right, and typically I have the same class, and I've got to develop more classes for these competitive gaming, because obviously when you're playing MLG variant, You can't use, there's no kill streaks, there's no equipment or anything like that. So you really gotta, I'm placing a claymore there, which kind of makes you slack. Now you notice in here, like, I'm not the only one. Now I showed you a video before in Nuketown where you use the houses to your advantage. And this is us sort of, I know we're in a public match, but the whole point of these games that I'm playing with Fisher and True God and Nate, who's the new guy, and Bentley, is to start getting into that frame of mind, that competitive game battle frame of mind. And in that frame of mind, you do not just go running carelessly out there hoping that you can rack up a couple of kills. It's always about the team. You take positions to help the team win. You do not go out there so that you get the most number of kills. Anytime you do that, I guarantee you, whether it's like other serious teams, if you ever get on that serious team and you pull stuff like that, I can guarantee you're going to end up getting kicked from that team if they're serious about game battles. They don't care about you racking up kills. What they care about is their team getting a win at the end, because that's all that anyone ever sees. When you're playing game battles, you know what I mean? It's the team that advances. It's the win-loss ratio of the team, not the individuals. So it's a real, a lot of people struggle with that because they all want to be showboats. Hey, look at me, I'm the Superman on public matches. Well, guess what? It doesn't fly in competitive. No one cares about how amazing you are when you go ripping through everyone. If you die in game battles and you leave your team stranded, maybe, based on a flip of a coin, whether or not you find someone by doing something careless, that is going to raid your team. And believe me, on NGT Elite, if any of the members, and they all know it, if they ever pull anything like that during a GB, they'll be quickly removed from my friends list and quickly out of NGT Elite. I mean, I'm not here running a daycare. It's different when you're playing in public matches with fans and stuff, because they just do whatever they want. It doesn't really matter. But in a team that I control, or Spiderbite and I control, you know what? And we lay the rules down. Everybody knows it. A lot of these guys have been with us from the very beginning. Killer God, I believe EP, Fisher, Ace0241 have been with us from the very beginning, from the very, very first time that NGT created a team. Whether it's NGT Elite, I don't even know if we called it back then. All of them are very, very much aware of how strict both Spiderbite and I are when it comes to playing as a team and playing for the purpose and for the good of the team. And if anyone violates that, they're off. They're off the team. There's no excuse. There's no second chances. The difference is that if we brought in someone and they never knew how strict we were, which they should, because you guys are watching this video and I'm explaining it to you. So if you ever make this team, and we're not doing tryouts, so don't bother sending us messages. There's no tryouts for the NGT Elite right now. We are not looking for anyone on this team. So do not bother messaging us to get on. Don't ask, because it's not going to happen. We have more than enough members right now, and unless something drastic happens in the next while, we will not be recruiting at all. Not right now. Anyway, that being said, we'd have zero tolerance for stuff like that. And if they're not going to play as a team, then I don't really care. I don't have time to babysit. You know what I mean? We all expect everyone to do their job, and if everyone does their job, that's when we end up playing with a record of 19-0 or 20-0 or whatever it was. That's when the team is able to annihilate. And when you've got a group of people, like Italy and Fisher and Medina and Killer God, when you're in a group, and EP, all those guys, Ace, sorry, I'm not mentioning them all. I'm not going through them. You're like, oh, you didn't mention my name. Suck it up. Anyway, when you're in a group of that, when you're playing a GB with those people, more so in a public match, I mean, your confidence soars. You're surrounded by not just like random people. You're surrounded by a group of, why we call it elite, by individuals that have incredible talents and are very, very good at playing these games. So when you go in there, in a public match, you almost slack a little bit. You're just like, whatever. And we normally annihilate teams in public matches, obviously. I mean, we're all tryhards. We all have strategies that we follow. But in GBs, no matter how confident we are, and no matter how, confident in the team I am, I am always somewhat nervous, and it's good. It's good to have that nervousness. It puts you in try-hard mode, and that's what I expect from everyone. And when we go up against top-seeded teams and we beat them, that is one of the best feelings that you can get when you play first-person shooter games. It's the best feeling that you could possibly hope for in this game when you're playing this. I know a lot of you guys just sort of play for entertainment purposes, but when you're sort of playing more competitive, it's kind of like taking, if you're with your buddies and you play some street hockey, and then all of a sudden you're playing and you made a team for the minors, and you're playing at that level, the level of excitement all the way up. As you go up in seriousness, as you go up in competitive sort of ladders, and Game Battles is sort of like the bottom of the competitive, but it is that step above. The regular public matches is like playing a game of street hockey, not much there. But as soon as you start playing Game Battles, it's like playing the minors, and that's when you start taking the game a lot more seriously, but you also feel the rush of a win amplified. If you have lost that and you loved that when you played with this, get a team together. But make sure, and I'll try and help you out with these series, with not just strategies, but call-outs and making sure that you get a cohesive team. And the one thing that I'm going to mention to you, because I've been going over it again and again in this video, is make sure your team gels. Make sure that every person you select for your team, whether you're skilled or not, it doesn't matter. You guys don't have to be the best of the best in order to win games in Game Battles. What you need is a team that's assembled that has the proper focus. You all know, that you're playing as a team and not individuals. Practice. Come up with some basic strategies and make sure everyone follows them. That's going to get you wins. That's going to make you sort of enjoy this game a little bit more. But make sure that when you're assembling the team, you get people that are focused on the team winning, not shining like friggin' stars or, hey, look at me, I'm a 360 quick scope across the map. That shit won't fly, especially not here. Peace. Get the latest updates and stay in touch with the NGT community with their all-new Facebook application. Check the description of the video for details.